मेरा नाम मनीषा श्रीवास्तव है एंड मैं हैदराबाद की रहने वाली हूँ. I studied in Nassar School, Hyderabad, after which I went on to graduate in BCom Honours from Shri Ram College of Commerce. Thereafter, I worked in Deloitte for a few years. UPSC में ये मेरा second attempt था. मैंने first attempt 2019 में दिया. And there were some things that I learned in between the two attempts. And through Delhi Knowledge Track, I would like to share those learnings, in which the most important was in the aspect of note making and revision. Organization of notes as well as a good revision plan helped me to succeed in the exam, and 2020 I have been able to secure All India rank 66. अगर हम बात करें the why of note making, then there are few points that support the aspect of note making. First, मेंस का जो सिलेबस है वही इतना बड़ा है एंड जो हमें पढ़ना है वो एक साल तक पूरे पढ़ते रहना है. So we come across so many different points that we need to put it all in one place. Ultimately एग्जाम 2-3 घंटे में या फिर 6-7 मिनट्स में वो एक जो थीम हम पूरे साल से पढ़ रहे हैं वो 6-7 मिनट्स में इफेक्टिवली देना है एंड अपने यूनिक पॉइंट्स भी लाने हैं. सो इन दिस एस्पेक्ट टू कलेक्ट information from different places, note making becomes very, very important. Second, as mentioned, because the exam period is so long and the syllabus itself is so huge, note making helps particularly in consolidation of notes. It helps in revision. So we have to start working backwards. अगर हमें एग्जाम 2 दिन पहले देना है, 2 दिन पहले हम कैसे पढ़ेंगे, 1 हफ्ते पहले हम कैसे पढ़ेंगे. So we need to, or maybe in second revision कैसे पढ़ना है, third revision कैसे पढ़ना है. So when we start working backwards, note making helps in revising effectively and in taking only that much portion which is necessary. Third point of note making, sometimes it helps in understanding concepts better. For example, in geography, I made my own notes because the clarity that comes when you make your own notes or when you draw your own diagrams is something else. So sometimes from different, for example, from NCERTs, or if I have to refer to other sources for some portion of geography, then I would do it on my own and I would make my own notes for geography, physical geography, economic geography, and other parts of geography. So note making again helps in clarity. Then fourth point of note making also is when we have to collect from different sources. So for example, ethics. Again, I made my own notes for ethics, and on the side, again, I would write whatever it is that my perspective on certain issues, or for example, some examples that I wanted to include in ethics notes. So that I would write on the side. And in the end, it was only my ethics notes that helped me. I didn't go through any other book, but in the first time itself that I had gone through different sources, I collected it all in one place. And therefore, note making helped. Last point, how note making helps is particularly in paraphrasing or in revising. For example, there were few themes that I had studied, and then in the end, from 2 pages, I would reduce it only to one diagram, and that one diagram was what I had revised ultimately for the exam. So note making helps in revision. Instead of looking at the note again, we can just close our book and take another sheet of paper and try to recall the topic ourselves. And in that one diagram that we try, we can include food processing sector or some important data of agriculture, MSP, and include it, and then that becomes your note. So before the exam, then only those notes help. So this is why note making is very important. So there are a lot of questions on when do we start making notes? Do we need to make notes for everything? So those questions were something that I took time to understand during my first attempt. And during my first attempt, what had happened was that I had not made any notes and I had only read through my books. Now in the end, it became so difficult for me to revise everything at one time that I realized then that I had gone wrong in my organization. So the second time around, I would suggest, if I were to talk about if we need to make notes for everything and when do we need to make notes for everything. So first, go through the main syllabus and in that identify the sources for each topic. This is something that Anudeep Durishetty sir had also mentioned, that for each topic that is mentioned in main syllabus, we need to have at least 200 words of some content about it. So we need to keep that ready. Now we need to ensure that where are we getting that content from. So if we're getting from NCERTs or we're getting from any other sources, it is important to first identify all of it. For example, my history notes were those that I had taken during my coaching classes. So those class notes itself I continue to use. Whereas for polity, I had studied through Lakshmikant books, so I didn't make any separate notes for that, but I kept adding any sticky notes wherever, if any value addition points that I used to keep coming across, I would keep adding that there and then. So notes need not be made for every topic, but we need to be able to identify the sources of where all is it that we need to make notes for, and where is it that we can avoid making notes, because in the end, as I said, notes making and revision is sort of interlinked. So to be able to revise and working backwards to be able to revise effectively in the end, whatever helps us better, we need to make notes accordingly. Second question that is often asked is, when do we start making the notes? Now that we have identified for some topics maybe we need to make notes. So when do we start making notes? For me, my personal experience was never the first time. So first time when we study something, we're only understanding the basics. We are getting hold of certain topics and themes. So the first time around, it becomes as if we're replicating everything that we are studying. So maybe the second time when we go for a second time revision in our timetable itself, that is when we can start identifying what is it that we need to remember. And if we need to include our own perspective or some other value addition points, we can start making our notes from second revision onwards. This was about when to make notes. Now, there are some topics for which notes can be made from the start, however. For example, as I mentioned for ethics. For ethics, I had started with my own A4 size sheets, and I would write each topic that is required in the syllabus and make my own notes. Some of them I would source from different material, and some, as I said, I would divide the page into half, and the second half of the page would only include my examples or some other quotations or some things that I would include in my essay if suppose the answer comes. So this again would help me at the time of exam. I didn't have to think again. So everything was already in one place for me. So therefore, in ethics particularly, something like that really helped. Same went for society as well. Now for society, there are some topics, some very static topics, for example, women issues. Or for example, we're talking about hunger and malnutrition. So we can collect the static portion there itself, and then whenever any reports come out or any current affairs, any debates or any editorials are included, in those A4 size sheets itself, we can include the important points. And before mains, then the notes become ready. So we don't have to again search for different information from different sources. So this is about the how. Sometimes notes also help. When we are making the notes, it is also important that we keep consolidating the notes. That is, let's say after second revision, I have made some notes, and this particularly happened with me in Indian economy. So the second time, the third time that I would go back to the notes, I would again consolidate it. If at all there are 50 pages, then I would try and make it 25 pages. Then I would again try and reduce it to maybe 5 pages. And in the end, I would try to reduce it maybe in half a page or just like one diagram as I had mentioned. So consolidation of notes is very, very important. And this can go for all subjects. Even for my optional, which was commerce and accountancy, I went for consolidation of notes, because in the end, when there is little time but there is so much that is to revise, I would just have one heading written and then I would write different parts of it. For example, what is the issue with this particular topic in just 4-5 points, and then I would write the way forward or write some data that is important and relevant to that issue. So therefore, my notes became something like that. So therefore, in notes, the most important part is consolidation of notes. Now again, this may not be relevant for everything. For example, ethics, I did not particularly go and consolidate. But then if I am able to highlight and able to identify what is it that I need to revise the second time or the third time around, then that much is enough. So this is how one can go about making notes. In this, very important to what I mentioned was for the static subjects. Current affairs notes are the most important. So this was something what I followed particularly was that I used to read current affairs on a daily basis, and I would make my notes also on a daily basis. While I would make notes on a daily basis, I would make sure that I revise every next day. So at the end of the week or the end of the month, current affairs was not a subject again for me, but it was something that I had to keep myself updated in on a daily basis. So if anyone asked me something what happened previously or some issue, I wanted to stay confident or wanted to have current affairs as my stronghold area, that I'll be able to answer any question whatever is required. So for that, I found online sources, online mediums, for example, like Evernote, or people use OneNote also, very, very helpful. And we would organize our folders accordingly. So I would have GS1, GS2, GS3, and one prelim specific, some important bits of information, whatever comes, I would include that over there. Now in these folders again, I would keep including the online material, whatever is important, or either from the newspaper directly or from different sources, one can collect current affairs material. Now this becomes easy. Why online? One can include and keep adding as and when new material keeps coming in, and it's also easy to delete, because sometimes what happens is we think something is very important and we include it immediately. But later, the second time or the third time that you read it, it is not so important. So one can delete it and one can keep consolidating in the online medium itself. So that becomes very important. So current affairs note making was a separate thing altogether, which I would do online. And for static subjects, like for example, very small subjects like internal security, disaster management, I would make my own notes in the beginning. And then after prelims, again, I would keep consolidating it so that towards the end, I have something very small that I can revise from. Now, in note making, I would also like to address the issue of note making for prelims, note making for mains, and note making for interview. In all the three stages, note making, I was able to use note making and effectively deliver. So for prelims note making, I would particularly for prelims towards the end. Now, as I said, we would all have to start working backwards. That last 1 month, how do we revise? Last 1 week, how do we revise? So for prelims, particularly for some subjects, I would make small placards sort of notes. And something that I feel I'm not going to remember too well, or something that I feel I need to look into once again, or some important data that comes from the budget or from the economic survey, I would make small notes. And then one side of that placard, I would write a question, and behind it, I would write the answer. So during revision, then what would happen was I would just look at the question and I would try to recall the answer on my own, instead of reading the question and the answer together. So that way, it sort of helps me retain the information much better. This I did even for wildlife reserves or for important national parks. There again, I had made my own maps. Like in school, we used to get the normal physical India map or the world map. There I had again sort of drawn my own the important rivers, tributaries or protected areas, and I would only revise through that. So something like a small quiz one can create, that while you're giving your test series, while you're studying your third revision, anything that you come across that you feel this is something you want to look at it again, so you can make notes. For history, I made a lot of notes, for example, in some important dances or some important festivals. Very important static data, again, can be used through these placard type notes. For mains, notes were the most important thing, because in those 3 months time between prelims and mains, we don't have time to go back to any book. In fact, I remember I was to just wait for at least even 15-20 minutes more that I could get during the day, that I could go and revise something again. So their note making again helped. So for that, again, consolidation during the mains time is very important. In the end, I had this one small notebook that I used for my last 1 week revision, and that had different segments again. So GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4. And within that, I would include very important data that I thought was important. And something, for example, different issues. Now, example, I had mentioned about agriculture. So there were different aspects of agriculture, and this is a topic that is asked all the time. Something about inclusive growth or something else that is important. So I would include all of that, environment, pollution, or some important committee recommendations. Even in ethics, if I felt there were some phrases that I wanted to use. So I would include that in different segments. And 1 week before the exam, that was the only book that I studied. And that was the only book that I revised actually. I didn't go to any other source, any other material, but I revised from that own book itself. So this is something that was important, note making. Again, as I said, it is very interlinked concept with revision that helped during mains. For interview purpose, again, the demands of the interview again require you to make notes accordingly. For interview, again, we have the DAF and we have the current affairs. So there again for DAF, I used to put each question or each important aspect on every sheet of paper, and I would write what is it that can be asked from my name or from the city that I come from my school, from college. So again, note making became a very integral aspect even in the interview stage. And for current affairs, again, different issues and different debates. Again, I would just sort of listen to different debates and then just write 2-3 points, because in the end, to recollect everything at one time becomes very difficult. So through stages, we can keep nourishing our brain with different parts of information at different times. So this is how note making helps in prelim stage, in main stage, in interview stage, and why note making is important, how note making can be done, and when is it that note making can be done. And if at all, if one wants to make, it's a very personal decision again. If one wants to make notes or if one wants to study from the basic material, it depends on a personal choice. But for me, it helped in all of these stages in the manner that I had just mentioned. So while having covered some aspects of note making, I'd also like to include some things on revision. We all know revision is the most important part of the exam. Again, as mentioned, the syllabus is so huge, time period is so long. So what we study in the first 2 months is not something that we will probably remember when we have to actually go and write the exam. So therefore, revision becomes important. And as I said, note making helps in revision. There are some other ways that particularly helped me, and something that I had learned from other toppers videos as well, that I would like to just include over here on more effective ways of revision, if one could call it. Now, one effective way that I found was there were times where I had to study, I had to revise, but I was so saturated that I didn't want to even look at my book or look at the notes again. So, but then there was such less time that there was no choice for me that, okay, if I don't feel like looking at the book, I can just leave it. So what I would do is, I would take that, whatever topic it is that I'm studying, I would go to my parents or anyone else, and I would just try to recall everything that I had written in my notes or whatever it is that I need to study. So I would avoid looking at it, reading it, but I would only talk it out. So it was something like a discussion, and I would just talk about any issue. If I'm talking about women issues particularly, or patriarchy, I would include that as a discussion. And then the other person's perspective also then became important. So especially during mains, what happened was I was able to retain everything in a much better manner. In those 7 minutes when I had to write, because I had been talking it out loud, I realized that it had helped me understand things better and also memorize things better. So this is something that really helped me. If not talking it out loud, one can also do something like take a whiteboard and write everything. So take up any theme and just write different dimensions of it or different parts of it. That also helps. This is also something that I had learned from another toppers video, that at the end of the day, one can at least just take a whiteboard and revise everything that you have done and write down different points of it. Either talk it out to yourself or write it down, whichever helps. Another aspect in somehow related to this was also storytelling. Now, especially history and world history or Indian history, post-independence, India. So these were topics that I enjoyed so much that I would tell it out like a story. Now again, I would find my audience, or you don't find your audience, you can use the mirror and talk about it yourself. So narrating it like a story again helps us understand the chronology better, and important, like for example, Sri Krishna Deva Raya, or if I'm revising Vijayanagar Empire, and if I'm mentioning Sri Krishna Deva Raya, it is important that I also remember the books that he has written or the architectural contributions that he has made. So this, I'm just remembering it and I'm telling it like a story. So with no pressure at all, if you just try telling it out like a story, again things become very easy. And it becomes also a little bit like a fun exercise to remember and to keep doing a revision. Because at times we need breaks. Every time to sit in front of the book and study can become very tiring. And one might want to take a break from that. So even if you go out and meet your friends, just talk about a particular topic. So that again helps in revision. Another area which I felt in this also one exercise was to quiz yourself, as I had mentioned, and to imagine yourself in that scenario. Now for disaster management, I would always put myself in this position. Now I am posted at a particular place and there is a cyclone or there is something that is happening. Now there is important things that I need to keep in mind to be able to handle that situation effectively. So when I put myself in that place, automatically I start thinking of everything that I need to know at that particular point in time. So all that becomes important for me to remember, and that is what the exam also wants. So when I'm asked a particular question on that issue, I'm able to write and more effectively even organize my answer as to understanding what is the importance of introduction, what are the issues and how to move forward, because I have narrated it in that particular manner. So this again is some of the areas which one can do for effective revision. One more thing for revision is we always think we need to revise, but what is the strategy or what is the timetable on how do you actually do your revision? So this is something that I had learned from one of our teachers, and he had mentioned that revision also cannot be done very randomly. It cannot be said that I have learned something today and I'm going to revise later, or when do I do my second revision, third revision. So I used to try and follow as much as I could. There was no rigidity around it, but this was something to revise after each day, one day after revising, then again revise the same thing after 1 week and revise it again after 1 month. So if one can follow this pattern for important issues, I'm sure this is not going to be possible for everything that we study, but if we can inculcate this in our timetable itself, that in our timetable, if we have mentioned that we are taking up this theme, then maybe after 1 week, try including 20 minutes or 30 minutes to revise it. After 1 month, one can include just about 5-10 minutes to revise that same topic again. This I used to follow for commerce and accountancy for my optional. So this again helped to effectively organize everything in your head. And the last few days before mains or before the interview or before prelims, everything is more structured. And once everything is more structured, there is automatically more confidence that comes in. And with more confidence, there is less stress, because stress builds up when there is something that is uncertain. We don't know something, that how are we going to do, how are we going to perform. But when you sort of arm yourself with these things, then automatically you reduce your stress levels and your answer delivery becomes even better. And ultimately, as I feel in mains interview, it is only in those time frame. Everyone comes prepared with the same amount of information, the same knowledge, and everyone has very good perspectives on different issues. But in those 3 hours or in that 30 minutes of the interview, how effectively are you able to deliver is what matters. And it's what decides one's rank, one's position, one's career, and so many things. Now, to be able to deliver effectively in those 2 to 3 hours, we need to work backwards and be able to organize ourselves in through either aspects of note making, or how do we revise, how do we study. So these things again I feel can help. So this was what I wanted to talk about, and I thought note making and revision are 2 interlinked concepts, and therefore I wanted to include the 2 in one. And importance, one can follow through their own personal style. This is something very different for each person, how they study, but this was just my experience, my learning that I wanted to share. And I want to thank Delhi Knowledge Track for giving me this medium and the opportunity to speak. And I hope this helps everyone. All the best.